lie there in that old curiosity shop.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, and this is going to be a this and that video. I'm taking today off. Well, sort of. I mean, I'm not going to do any thrifting, any sourcing today. I'm not going to do any listing. I still have a few more packages to wrap to get to the post office and some labels to do. I've got to get caught up on my emails. I have to do that. If you wrote to me weeks ago, months ago, and never heard from me, I again figured out what I did. I won't bore you with that, but I figured it out. I think I can go back in and find most of the old emails. But let's have a sip of coffee right now, thanks to a wonderful subscriber who sent me some delicious coffee, and I promise I'm going to say thank you to the folks who sent me things recently and not so recently, which I haven't done, out of this Fire King mug. What are you sipping on today? Are you like me? I put eggnog in my coffee just to sweeten it a little bit. Well, anyway, I'm down on the floor because I am wrestling with Christmas lights. We're going to talk about those in just a minute. But first, here is a baby doll. Now, I don't know much about baby dolls because I didn't have any sisters to play with. And so baby dolls were not something that were in my house growing up. But I bought her. She was $20 and 20% off. So, yeah, or 25% off. And the reason I bought her is because I'm going to recreate a typical scene under a 1920s, 30s Christmas tree. You always see a baby doll and a Lionel train and a stiff bear and that kind of thing. So I'm going to keep her, but here she is. I was chatting with my former college roommate about her a little bit, and we agree that she certainly does have a composition head. She does, and she doesn't have any problems with her eyeglasses leaving dents on the side of her head. Good condition for composition because, of course, we're going to get the cracking that we normally see, but nothing is flaking off, and that looks like all original paint on her. Her little hands are painted. You can see there. Yeah, and she's got little leather shoes on. And I don't know what all these underclothing items are called, but pantaloons, I guess, and whatnot, right? Pardon me for being so indiscreet here. Bloomers, I don't know what all of this stuff is, but you doll people know, I suppose. And she's in really good condition, I think, for a baby doll that's probably from the 1920s. So she will take a nap right now. There you go. Well, we need to name her too, don't we? What should we call her? Now, Christmas lights. I love to use my old Christmas lights. And here I am on the floor wrestling with this strand here. This is the type that's wired. We have continuity through the whole thing. So don't worry about if one burns out, the whole string goes out. Those are a pain, and I've got some old 1930s candelabras. These, we don't have to worry about that. But I use dimmers. If you're going to use old light bulbs, you can keep them from overheating, and you can also save the life of your light bulb if you use them on a dimmer switch. And the dimmers that I like, I'm going to recommend one right here. It's called Lutron, L-U-T-R-O-N. Who knows? I'll let you see it. Now, they're not paying me to give them a commercial, so I bought these at the big box hardware store, you know. I don't know, $12, $15. They weren't cheap, but, you know, I bought 2 of them. Okay, you have a nice long 6-inch cord, approximately. A very stylish control here. Your light bulbs actually don't plug into the remote control. They plug into the wall outlet, you know, into the back of the plug connected to this. And what we can do is sit by the fire, sipping our eggnog without even getting up, and watch. Turn it on. There they go. That's the lowest setting on those. That's the highest setting. It's hard to believe that when we used these lights years ago, and I remember these from the early 70s, you plugged them in and they were at full blast the whole time. That's it. And boy, do they put out heat. I could get a suntan from these. They're hot. So this is going to be a much better for the life of the light bulbs. And we don't really have to worry. We worry less about any type of danger with these hot light bulbs. Now, if you're using them on an artificial tree, of course a lot of the artificial trees, I think, are treated so that they're not going to catch on fire. You certainly want to be careful if you're using them on a live tree, especially if it's, if you had it up since Labor Day weekend. It's, it's probably pretty dry by now. Okay, enough of that. Listen, if you're going to use the old ones, just examine the cords, right? Make sure that they're supple and we don't have any breaks or frays anywhere. Test them out. You can use these old lights. Now, I wouldn't use them in and then go, off to Jersey caroling all night and leave them plugged in. No. I would stay here and make sure that I am monitoring them, and certainly the dimmer switch keeps them cooler. All right, I've got another whole string to string together, and this great big fruit cake tin tub of old lights that haven't been tested. So I'm going to be here for a while digging around in these. Who remembers this sound? I've always wanted to play a game called Forgotten Sounds, where you don't see what I'm doing, but you hear the sound. Would you have been able to guess? I wonder. Anyway, let's get to it, and then I'm going to go back up and keep plugging away at that ragtime. Thanks for listening to me practice. It takes a while, but I'm going to master it by New Year's Eve or Valentine's Day. Okay, I'll be back with the tree. Now, I promise you I'm going to film a little bit later when the sun goes down and I have better lighting, and I'll back up and let you see the whole tree. One of the things, of course, you'll notice is that wires are sticking out, and I'll fiddle around with it just a little bit and rearrange some of the light bulbs. We have a few of them that are shining a little bit brighter than the rest. This green one here, I don't know, we're going to have to do something with that. But I'll rearrange it, and this one has just burnt out. Oh, no, there we go. Jiggle it. Come on now, you can do it. There we go. Of course, whenever you see the photographs of the old Christmas trees, you always see plenty of wires sticking out. And we're so accustomed these days to many of the artificial trees that have the little tiny white lights all looped in. You don't see any electric wires. But it's appropriate and authentic to see the wires on a tree that's done in an old-fashioned style like this. Of course, it wouldn't be complete unless it was meticulously draped with lead tinsel. I have not had tinsel in 20 years because of Salem the cat. Tinsel will call a cat's name like a gnat in the middle of the night. So, I don't have any tinsel, but I would like to get myself some authentic old-fashioned lead tinsel and drape it on there just like the old days. Now, also some of you may say, Scott, why don't you have a real tree? Let's stop all this business about fake tree. We should ban that. No Christmas tree is fake. Yes, it's an artificial tree. Now, I own a condominium here in the middle of the city, and there's a city ordinance that apartment dwellers and condo owners such as this, in buildings that I'm in, we are it's prohibited to have live trees. Now hold on, some of you are gonna, you non-city folk, before you jump on the comments, I'm all for it. I have no problem with it at all. Hey, it's designed to protect my neighbor from crazy people like me who use antique lighting. Okay, so it is because of fire hazards. I have no problem at all with that ordinance. I don't know what they do in New York, Chicago, or LA. But here in Philadelphia, we are not supposed to be using live Christmas trees in our apartments. Again, keeps us safe as we're so densely packed with fire hazards and whatnot. So it's an artificial tree, and listen, so let's say yay for all of us with artificial trees. They're not fake trees. I'm going to go ahead and keep fiddling with this and rearrange the lights just a little bit and get it decorated, and then I'll be back. The sun is beginning to go down here in the Northeast, and I'll be lighting the fireplace really soon to warm things up. But I want to show you, I'm going to take a break from the tree. I don't really go over the top when it comes to the mantle. This is all I've done so far. Sometimes in the past I have put lights in the crystallized fruit. I'm not sure I'm going to do that this year, and I'm going to show you something else that I found. But many, many years ago, I found this sort of crystallized fruit. Now this is of course artificial. I found these little pieces in a Goodwill in South Philadelphia, and there's two separate pieces that can be used any way you like. I love them. I like the idea that it's not just the old hat sort of red and white and tinsel Christmas. So this is really nice, and it sort of shimmers, so I really like these. I have them on either side of the old family clock, and I change my lamps out often on the fireplace, and in the winter season I pull out, these are from the 20s, and they're old polychromed chalkware mantle lamps, and I doctor them up with, these are supposed to go around candles. But if I slide it up, you'll see this is all right out of the 1920s, and these would be on a mantle or a buffet. Polychromed means that we've got some green and some red. It's difficult to see it, I think, because I'm hiding it with the light. So they are electrified. They look like candles. And then I have some shades, and I just kind of, I don't know, that doesn't really look that good, but I plop those things on the top anyway. But now let me show you this garland that I found also in a thrift shop just 2 days ago. And I really like it. Now, all right, it's plastic, so what? It's not going to attract gnats, and it's not going to rot. It also won't dry out in front of my fireplace. I think this stuff is beautiful. Now, some of you, I know you don't like plastic fruit, but wait until I drape this across the fireplace. It sort of has an antique look. What say you? I know you can't see it very well, but let me put this camera on the tripod, and we'll see what we can come up with. Here I am in very bright light. Hopefully this will show up better. But take a look at this plastic fruit. I don't know what you think, but I am really attracted to it. And it's, it's already in a garland. And this was not expensive at all at the thrift shop. Now the other day when I was visiting my mother and stepfather, we were watching an old Carmen Miranda movie. So I feel somewhat inspired, but I'll save you that. Okay, now I'm going to want to do something like a swag, but we studied the definition of swag and festoon. So this is actually supposed to be what? Do you remember? Is it a swag or a festoon? Swag, drapery, festoon, usually fruit or flowers. So we're going to go with festoon. So how about I attach it to both sides of the mantle here, and then just sort of let it drape in the middle. Ooh, I think this is going to look good. All right, to attach my fruit, I don't want to stick tacks anywhere in the mantle. So I'm going to be using some of this. I guess it's what florists use or crafters use. It's this green wire that I can put anywhere I want. I'll use my little cutters here to take care of that. We'll go ahead and see what it looks like. Well, the first thing I did was I stretched out my soon-to-be festoon and found what would be the absolute middle point. And then I wrapped the green wire around it, and I took my wire all the way back. Actually, I wrapped it around a screwdriver, a little tiny screwdriver, and I can just tuck that screwdriver in right there. I'm not damaging the wall or the mantle. And I can also adjust the length of it so it'll be exactly where I want it to be. Okay, so let's keep going. Well, old man sun is about to fade away here in the Northeast. I still have a lot of work to do on the tree, no ornaments on it yet. But how does the swag look? Does it look all right? Let me move in. Now I know the fruit up here is, glistening, and down here it has an antique look, so I'm mixing my styles, but I like it. Some folks might want to see some light up there. I'm not a big little white light guy. So I'm not so sure that I want to string little white lights up there. I may just add, well, I'm not really sure. Maybe some candles or, I don't know. I think I'm leaving it just like it is. I think that's it. Well, we'll see. We'll light the fire and then we'll make up our minds. What do you guys think? I don't want to start fooling around and putting too much, red ribbons and lights and everything. I think I want the spotlight to be on the Christmas tree. And then I'll be setting up the creche with the lights in that. That's the most important light of all, is making sure there's light on that, and that's highlighted. I have not unpacked it yet. It's in my boxes over here on the floor. So you'll see that later. Of course, the most important light of all is the light that shines from the manger. That's the story of Christmas. That's the real meaning of Christmas. I hope that you enjoyed watching. Well, my fireplace is warming it up very nicely here. Let me know what you think. Should I add, subtract, multiply, or divide anything up there on the mantle? And you just had a peek at all the old ornaments. Oh, I have at least 4 or 5 packing crates with additional boxes, so I'm going to be busy. Well, thanks for joining me today, and I hope that you're getting in the mood. Tomorrow is December 10th, which would have been my father's birthday, or is my father's birthday. And in honor of him, I sort of wait and get all the Christmas things ready on December the 10th. We always did that anyway when I was growing up. We didn't really do much Christmas decorating before his birthday. So I'll get everything decorated and then turn all the lights off and get it all lit up tomorrow on Friday, December the 10th. I'm also going to release a special rerun tomorrow. I have not set up the great big old Lionel train set that was my dad's that he received in the very early 50s. So tomorrow night, Friday night, I'm going to release a rerun. I hope that you'll tune in for that. I think you'll enjoy it. It's the old Lionel train as I set it up last year. Okay, so you might even get a glimpse of old Salem the cat by the fireplace because of course I filmed it last Christmas. Okay, that's it for now. Again, tomorrow night is going to be that Lionel train rerun, and then I'll probably see you on Saturday. So for now, have a wonderful night, a safe one. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, saying thanks for watching, wait for the cat, and so long for now.